embark on a journey through the vibrant streets of New York City, where Dylan and Jamie's unexpected romance blossoms amidst the mayhem of ambition and dreams. As they challenge the rules of love in a city of endless possibilities, one question hangs in the balance. Can a casual fling between two career-driven souls evolve into a love that withstands the test of time? Let's dive into this hot mess. In the opening scenes, we meet Dylan, a perpetually busy man whose hectic job leaves him with little time for his girlfriend, much to her annoyance. Their relationship hits a breaking point when Dylan's tardiness once again ruins their plans, leading to a breakup fueled by his lack of time for her. Meanwhile, we're introduced to Jamie, another career-driven individual struggling to balance work and her relationship. Her boyfriend, feeling neglected and emotionally distant, also decides to end things, prompting Jamie to cling to the hope of finding her Prince Charming someday. As fate would have it, Jamie, an executive recruiter in New York, is tasked with recruiting Dylan for a job opportunity at GQ magazine. Dylan, a Los Angeles native, initially negative to the idea of relocating, eventually finds himself considering the offer. When Dylan arrives in New York for the interview, Jamie is there to welcome him, eager to convince him of the city's potential. Despite Dylan's reluctance to leave LA, Jamie spends the day showcasing the opportunities and charms of New York, hoping to sway his decision. Ultimately, after much deliberation, Dylan decides to take a leap of faith and accept the job offer, signaling a new chapter in both his career and his personal life, as he embraces the challenges and adventures that await him in the bustling streets of New York. The following day, Dylan and Jamie embark on an exploration of the city. Jamie takes Dylan to various spots, including a breathtaking rooftop where she shares her fondness for the view and opens up about her own emotional sanctuary. They discuss Dylan's father, a once successful writer, and Jamie's familiarity with his family history. Dylan reassures her that his father will support his decision to move to New York. Their adventure continues as Jamie leads Dylan to Times Square, where they're enveloped in the energy of thousands of people dancing to a catchy tune. Dylan finds himself caught up in the excitement, dancing along with the crowd and realizing his newfound excitement for living in New York. As their bond strengthens, Jamie presents Dylan with the job contract, hoping to secure her commission. Despite the professional transaction, their friendship deepens, especially as Dylan navigates his new workplace and forms connections, including with a colleague named Tommy. During a conversation, Dylan asks the subject of lunch, unintentionally causing Jamie to misinterpret his intentions as a romantic gesture. She delicately declines, expressing concerns about complicating their friendship and the dynamics of their working relationship. Dylan reassures her of their friendship's importance, understanding the potential awkwardness of a romantic involvement in their professional context. However, Dylan clarifies that his invitation was purely platonic, and they proceed to dine at a restaurant. As their conversation deepens, they candidly share anecdotes about their past relationships, fostering an even stronger bond through their honesty and mutual understanding. Jamie extends an invitation to a party at her place, encouraging Dylan to attend in hopes of expanding his social circle. He accepts and finds himself enjoying the company of Jamie's friends. As they continue to spend time together, their interactions become more frequent and enjoyable. One evening, they opt for a movie night at Jamie's place. While discussing romantic films, Dylan expresses his belief that love shouldn't be as complicated as portrayed in movies. Jamie agrees, likening relationships to playing tennis, straightforward and physical. Intrigued by her perspective, Dylan suggests they explore a purely physical relationship, devoid of emotions and commitments. Despite initial doubts about their physical compatibility, a mutual attraction emerges during a compatibility test. Establishing clear boundaries, they embark on a casual arrangement, acknowledging their friendship as the foundation of their connection. With their agreement in place, they explore intimacy without the constraints of a traditional relationship. Days pass, and their arrangement proves harmonious until one pivotal moment after a night spent together. Jamie arrives at the office, eager to have a conversation with their colleague. Recently, there has been a subtle tension between them, and Jamie feels it's important to address. Initiating the discussion, Jamie expresses the belief that any lingering awkwardness between them shouldn't interfere with the arrangement they had previously discussed. After some deliberation, they both agree to forego pursuing the arrangement further, prioritizing their friendship over potential complications. However, later that same evening, while spending time together, their impulses take over, leading to an intense and passionate moment. Despite their initial decision, they find themselves unable to resist each other's allure. On another occasion, they find themselves intertwined once more in a moment of passion when Jamie's mother unexpectedly interrupts. Initially surprised, Jamie's mother quickly reassures Jamie, expressing her approval of their relationship. Jamie proceeds to explain the arrangement to her mother, who surprisingly reveals her own aversion to commitment following her divorce, indicating she understands their perspective. During one of their workout sessions, Dylan confides in Tommy about his arrangement with Jamie. However, Tommy expresses doubt, citing the differing perspectives between men and women on such matters. As weeks pass, Dylan and Jamie continue their intimate encounters, but Jamie begins to yearn for traditional dating experiences. She expresses her desire to pursue a serious relationship, prompting Dylan to offer to end their arrangement if it's what she truly wants. Their discussion leads them to a garden where Dylan spots an attractive woman, sparking his interest in dating again. Encouraged by Jamie, he approaches her, only to discover she's married with children, leading to a humorous moment shared between him and Jamie. Meanwhile, Jamie takes the initiative to approach a man she meets, discovering he's a doctor named Parker. They agree to go on a date, and their connection blossoms as they spend more time together. Jamie confides in Parker about her rule of not bringing a date home until the 5th outing, revealing her longing for a hero to rescue her from the world. As Jamie and Parker's relationship progresses, Dylan struggles with loneliness, missing Jamie's companionship despite attempting to date other women. Ultimately, Jamie and Parker reach their 5th date, culminating in a passionate encounter at Jamie's place, marking a significant step in their burgeoning relationship. The following morning, upon awakening, she ventures out to purchase some donuts while Parker remains in bed. However, upon her return from the donut shop, she discovers Parker departing without explanation. Despite her inquiry about his intentions, he struggles to come up with feeble excuses, leading her to swiftly comprehend his true motives. Recognizing his opportunistic behavior, she instructs him to leave her presence, prompting Parker to assert that he is not the Prince Charming she desires. Jamie, feeling upset, ends their relationship on the spot. Later that evening, she encounters Dylan, who listens to her recount the entire ordeal and advises her to forget about Parker, describing him as a contemptible individual. Dylan subsequently surprises her with a painting she had admired, which he procured to lift her mood. Upon returning home, Jamie finds a note from her mother, indicating her absence for the upcoming days. This news distresses Jamie, particularly because of the holiday season and their previously planned time together. Jamie confides in Dylan about her mother's absence during the holidays, prompting Dylan to invite her to stay with him in LA, suggesting she might feel lonely at her place. Together, they board a plane to LA, where Jamie meets Dylan's family, including his sister Annie. Despite Dylan's dad's struggle with mental illness, which sometimes leads to forgetfulness and embarrassing situations, Jamie handles it with understanding, having been forewarned by Dylan. While Dylan occasionally feels embarrassed by his dad's actions, Annie and Jamie bond during their time together, developing a strong friendship. One evening, Dylan visits Jamie in her room, clad only in his robe, hinting at intimacy. However, sensing Jamie's hesitation, he decides to simply sit and talk with her instead. They enjoy a meaningful conversation, cherishing the opportunity to connect on a deeper level, something they hadn't done in a while. As they open up about their feelings for each other, they both express how special the other person is to them, drawing closer emotionally. After their intimate moment, Dylan's sister catches him leaving Jamie's room, sparking suspicion. The following evening, during a family dinner, Dylan's dad once again behaves in an embarrassing manner, leaving Dylan feeling frustrated and embarrassed. The next day, Dylan takes Jamie on a tour of the city, culminating in a visit to the iconic Hollywood sign. As they sit together, Jamie reassures Dylan, encouraging him not to be ashamed of his dad's actions. She emphasizes the importance of cherishing their familial bond despite others' opinions, likening it to the relationship between the son and his dad figure. Upon returning home, Dylan's sister confronts him about his relationship with Jamie. She admits to observing them closely and believes they are meant for each other, acknowledging the strong connection between them. Dylan confides in his sister, explaining that he and Jamie are just friends, and mentioning Jamie's emotional struggles, suggesting she's not ready for a relationship as she is damaged goods. Unbeknownst to Dylan, Jamie overhears their conversation. Feeling hurt and betrayed, she decides to return to New York. Dylan eventually follows her there, attempting to reconnect with her, but Jamie continues to ignore him. Finally, she confronts him, revealing that she overheard his conversation and wants nothing to do with him anymore. As tensions escalate, Jamie learns that Dylan might leave his position at GQ for another job, which could affect her financially. This revelation sparks a heated argument between them, prompting both to reflect on their feelings and the state of their relationship. Jamie seeks solace with her mother, while Dylan discusses his dilemma with his sister, who informs him about their dad's early-stage Alzheimer's disease and the need to pick him up from the airport. During a meal at the airport with his dad, Dylan's dad experiences a moment of confusion characteristic of Alzheimer's, mistaking a person for someone from his past. Dylan questions him about this woman, hoping to understand his dad's condition better. After regaining his clarity, he reflects that she was a woman he had encountered during his time in the Navy, emphasizing that she was the love of his life. He expresses remorse over decisions he made in his youth, particularly regarding letting her go. Dylan contacts Jamie's mother to arrange a chance meeting for Jamie to visit Grand Central Station, where he surprises her with a flash mob performing to Criss Cross's Jump and Semisonic's Closing Time. After confessing his feelings to her and sharing a passionate kiss, Dylan suggests they embark on their first official date. With a tender gaze, Jamie hangs on every word as Dylan bares his soul, revealing the hurtful void she's left in his heart. His voice trembles with vulnerability as he confesses how much he yearns for her presence. In a moment of raw honesty, Jamie's defenses crumble, and she admits that her world is dimmer without him. Their eyes lock, a silent pact made, as they decide to rekindle their bond of best friends. Hand in hand, they step out into the world, embarking on their first genuine date. It's a poignant turning point where they both embrace the profound love that's been quietly growing between them, heralding a fresh chapter in their lives. They head to a nearby cafe and try and act like a first date, where they find themselves unable to resist each other's touch, bringing the movie to its conclusion. If you enjoyed this roller coaster ride of emotions and found yourself rooting for Dylan and Jamie's love to conquer all, don't forget to give this recap a thumbs up and subscribe for more captivating stories. Thanks for watching.